Welcome to Sonic the Hedgehog, issue 54. Not bad cover, but what the fuck? I don't want to see Snoopy's nose like that. It's disgusting. It's disgusting! Let's get into it. Why do I have to read these? I hate these. I always skip the first part, 'cause it's always the same thing. Metropolis is a busy place. No one realizes this more than its new citizens, who, for the past few weeks, have been making a concentrated effort to restore the city to its former glory, but the ruthless Robotnik had taken certain measures to ensure that his wicked presence would still be felt even if he himself were vanquished. Polluted rivers with vile toxins, fresh air is choked with unbreathable fumes, and stainless steel substituting for life-sustaining soil. The only possible means of reversing the horrid effects would be to shut down the factories while collecting and storing all of Robotnik's equipment and technology in one place. Simple, right? No sweet sweat for Sonic and the gang, eh? That's the easy part. For against them is a new enemy. One was prepared for politics. That was a really good ramble. Just say that. Not whole village, which looks a little different now. I don't remember being like up in the air, but who knows. Nahal Village. For years it served as the basis of operation to the freedom fighters of Plan Mobius. It also was a home, but with the ultimate annihilator of the evil techno tyrant Dr. Iva Raponic, the rebels have returned to Metropolis, the city from which they were cast out so long ago. And what of Nahal? Since its jaunt into its own temporal zone, 3 hours into the future, the villagers are no longer comfortable living there. Why? For one thing, as you move towards the outskirts of the village, an invisible barrier keeps you from the rest of Mobius on all sides. And then there's the only way in and out of Knothole's temporary zone is through the great oak slide. It makes travel back and forth, especially with supplies, that much more difficult. And now some say it's a ghost town, but they're wrong. There's one former member of the Resistance who still embraces its familiar forest surroundings. One who has become so accustomed to the way of the warrior that leaving his city behind was the only real alternative. But he may soon find out he's only running to stand still. Oh my goodness, that was a mouthful. Oh man. Holy Swiss cheese, Uncle Chuck, your instruments are going. Yes, I know, Tails. Haywire. Yeah, cool. It's worse than that, my beautiful friend. It appears my device is done for. Sonic, how are we supposed to determine your maximum speed if you accelerate too quickly? You know, wrecks the equipment every time. What in the world are you rebelling against? What the fuck's he saying there? What the geek out? Boy! Talk about attitude. So ain't no gratitude. Mm. You would think that leaving the big city would enable my nephew to unwind. After all, isn't that the reason why he came back here? Fellow Mobians, little citizens, I'm glad to see all of you gathered here today. Hear me and know that this day wouldn't be possible without your courage and heroism. Sure, there were times we were frightened, uncertain whether Robotnik would close his fist about us in an iron grip to squeeze the very humanity out of our souls. Yes, there were chaotic times, but now it's time to establish order. Oh, I hate this fucking doctor. Look at this fucking smug ass face. I give you Dr. Quack, a real physician whose healing skills will help her kingdom on the road to recovery. Rotors whose technology talents can turn Robotnik's weapon of war into engines of progress. What the fuck's this face? Geoffrey St. John, whose own sense of justice will set the standard for that of the entire state. And a Sonic whose speed and popularity will round out the membership of a new council. Dedicated restoring honor. Hip hip hooray! We will no longer be known as Knuckle Villagers. From today onwards, we shall be Mobians of Mobotropolis. Once again, tomorrow. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I can't believe they try to make Sonic a king in the future. But yeah, that's something that happens. We'll get to that. Does Sonic seem like he cares about politics? No. But Ken Parris thought in the future he'd be a king. Does that make sense? Anyway, fuck that. Anyway, meanwhile, miles away from Nahal Village, a royal airship rockets to a location far from the confines of Sonic's mind. The Devil's Gulag. Hidden by a dense bank of steam clouds from the boiling oceans that surround it, the prison complex sits forbiddingly on the mile-high rocky crag that passes for an island. Like some skybound submarine, the airship gently breaks the cloud's bank surface as she delivers her felonious fling. I know felon is felonious. I never heard that fucking word before. Felonious, I guess. Felonious, I guess. Uh, I don't know. Cargo. And who are the criminals in question? Let's find out. Lieutenant Smiley. Lieutenant Smiley. Commander Fleming. Is that Warlord Kudos? When the world happened to him? It's quite a story, but if you got a minute, I'll tell you. Hey, Sonic, wake up, Sonic. Sonic. Like, man, Tails, what are you trying to do? Scare the sweet out of me? I don't want to wake you from your sleep, but what about the test? I wasn't sleeping, I was remembering. Oh, great, who invited him? Like, who do you think is running the... I was being sarcastic, Tails. Remember, these headphones are protected. Like I don't already know that? The device is very fragile. Sure. And remember, to be careful. Gone. Uncle Chuck. Yes, Tails? What does sarcastic mean? It means my nephew has a lot on his mind. That's what it means. He's off, and as he makes his way across the Great Plains of Mobius, observe figure racing at hyper speeds. His memory reels. Hit rewind. Pauses in the not too distant past. After much thought, Princess, the decision was difficult to make, but I decided the only you could help our plight. I think your idea is brilliant. If Metropolis is too crowded, Nahal will be the ideal place for the robotized Mobians to live until we find a way for everyone to live in harmony. Wow, a real robot though, Amy. That rules completely. I'll just have to okay the move my dad. Don't sweat on King Acorn is righteous monarch. It'll happen to PDQ. I hope so. Apparently PDQ means pretty darn quick. I also, what the fuck's that mean? I looked there. They helped me once. Who knew? Too bad the king's an asshole. He's an asshole. Scant minutes later. Say, where do you want to go off to? Both son and your uncle left for Castle Acorn to petition the king. Oh, great, just great. Can a hedgehog even put on fresh pair of running shoes without everyone going out and trying to change the world about him? Huh? He's exaggerating. Perhaps he is. For something some several yards away from the king's castle, Sonic witnessed a sight that thinks even his the switches of spirits. He doesn't need to hear what the princess says and know her father responds. He can see it on his uncle's face. Yes, the world is changing, but is it for the better? The Gulag. It's so hard to believe that even after being told, how did King Kudos ever manage to escape from the zone of silence? You are the lieutenant. It was a planned pawn. He was a pawn to the evil Ixis Nagus. When Ixis escaped, the zone Kudos was free too. Hey, what's this? Ixis Nagus, King Acorn's former royal wizard, returned? It's the most interesting thing that happened since the boss was supposed to be annihilated. Tell us, Smiley, more, you fat-tailed freaks. Here's some beautiful fan art. This one's pretty good, actually, but I'm pretty sure it's traced. Oh well, so much for this highly expensive sand-encrusted worthless piece of scrap metal. Why are you running so blindly, lad? You're barely paying attention to the test. You think we'll ever really know how fast Sonic is, Uncle Chuck? Better chance of determining that than trying to figure out what's eating at him, Tails. Now let's see here. The influx hydro repel layer should account for water resistance. Ah, perfect. On your mark, get set, go! And yes, this mind doesn't indeed go back to a few days. Pass! So that's pretty much the score, good buddy. Now let me get this straight, Rooter. You want to take a little time out to look for your folks who've been missing since the whole mess with robotics started, but the princess said no? Rooter, please,
Rhoda, believe you me when I say that I know exactly how you feel. Let me handle this.
I know you would, good buddy. I know you would.
Well, if a guy can't follow his heart, what can he follow? He got tall, dark, and gruesome. Let me in. Josh, there's no way that we can get an hospital up and running in 2 days flat. We'll have to find a way.
He's right, sir. There's also no way to have a man at arms and have a street corner to protect our boss-sized mobiles from the craze mobs.
So we gotta talk about Reuter, and before you go telling me I'm way off base, let me just say one thing. You of all people should know what it's like to want to find your parents. I do, Sonic, but I also know about duty and sacrifice. Look at our city, it's in ruins. We need Reuter's technological skills now more than ever if we're going to get back on track. Tell him it won't take too much longer, I promise.
So, where'd it go?
Oh,
The Gulag. And this one I've never even heard of. I know her name is Uma Arachnus, but beyond that, and the fact that she's a ninja warrior, she's a mystery to everyone. Well, we do know that she's an arm of Ixis flunkies, and that means she's definitely bad news. No matter how good she was, no one deserves to be frozen in its crystal state. It's her own fault. She and Kudo should have known that no good could befall them while working with an evil wizard like Ixis.
well, if Six Nagas had used return to power, and there's power to be exploited, I have to find it.
Well, we performed tests on air, land, and sea. Let's see how you hold up on an artificial environment.
An artificial environment, I thought I'd already been in one.
Whatever do you mean?
Well, telling somebody their folks are dead when they're really not is sort of like making them live in an unreal, phony, false artificial world. Oh boy, this is not cool.
Before his uncle has a chance to reply, Sonic starts the test for him. And as his feet race forward, his mind races backwards in time to where? Mobotropolis, to when? A few hours ago. There's more time travel on this fucking comic than Sonic CD. Hell, don't ask. Keep reading.
God, since I'm forced to sit on the dumb council, maybe I should petition to rename this town Dolesville.
Sonic!
Rosie, what are you doing here? I'm the evil everybody, and I'm gonna memorize you. Run!
Playing, of course. Look at them. They're off on some exciting adventure.
Don't say that word.
What word? Adventure?
I told you not to say it.
Why? What's the matter?
Well, I hate to say it, but everything stinks now that Robotnik's gone.
What song? Are you feeling alright?
Well, at least when Robotnik was still alive, I felt like I was making a difference. Now I feel like my hands are tied, while my shoelaces aren't.
That's not such a good combo for you.
No, it's not. How can we rebuild that city if we can't even stop long enough to realize that everyone has their own problems?
Well, I understand how you feel.
You do?
Sure, when I was younger, my cousin and Sally's mentor, Julia, used to tell me one important thing. The only difference is the one you make.
Do you, do you understand, sort of?
I don't know what he was saying that. I guess that's her saying it again. Do you understand, sort of?
The only difference is the one you make. The only difference is the one you make. Yeah, I think I do.
Where'd you know?
What else? To make a difference. Thanks, Rosie.
Not the Gulag, but somewhere close enough to it that a remote-controlled radio signal emitted from beneath Snippy's thumb has a definite effect. The egg bots have arrived. It's Egg Robo, guys! It's not Egg Bot, it's Egg Robo. But look, they look like the video game, which is nice to see. You know, when the character looks like they do in the video game. Because sometimes in the comic that doesn't happen. Program to attract unique energy signatures. They rocket towards the heavens to do bidding of their increase incarcerated master. Find the wizard Ixis Nuggets. The Great Fargus. Sonic, we had a talk, hedgehog to hedgehog. And I don't mean about your top speed, or whether you can run on land, sea, or air. I want to talk about your folks. Boy, Julian Robotnik sure messed things up for us all, didn't he?
What do you mean?
Well, don't you see, if you had known that your parents were alive, you would have never stopped to think clearly till they were free. Robotnik would have used your emotions against you and caused war. Please believe me.
I do. It's all part of making a difference. Say, why is that strong breeze all of a sudden?
It had retcon him this because, of course, they aren't originally going to have Sonic's parents be a thing. And they're like, oh, well, they added them because parents have to have every character have parents. And when every character has parents,
No one will. Holy Hannah!
One tarnation.
Sonic, come in. Where have you been? Was your communicator broken? Yeah, but it's fixed now. Go, we need you back here pronto.
Next issue. Gone! That was the other issue. Very wordy, but not bad. See you next time with issue 55. There we go.